Hello again. Today I'm going for a long ride on my beautiful horse, Champion. And the reason for that is because this was quite an old map, then when the horse update came out, they didn't spawn in any of the plains biomes near that we already had. So we had to go way out, to find horses and donkeys and things like that. As you can see here, I found a bunch. I can't remember where this guy came from that I'm riding, whether he was from here or one of the other ones. There's a few horses there, there's some donkeys. More horses there. As I recall, there's some... The redstone torches are my simple way of marking out an area. When you're going fast on a horse, it can actually be difficult to see what terrain's coming up, and that was like the quickest way. It works quite well. It's like just a wee row of beacons to follow, so you don't run into things like that. So I found this area, which, yeah, I knew it, there's more over there. But because it was such a far distance, I thought, like, the first time you go out, you're going to have to walk it. It's so far. So my decision was that on my way back, I think it was, I would create a few little builds along the way so people would have interesting things to look at as they go back. So I'm going to take the road back to my house and stop off at some little builds on the way. So here we go. Okay, here we're coming up on the first one. I'm going to be careful here and put this guy in here. Don't know how I'm going to get out, mind you. Yeah. Oh, that worked quite well. So, I had actually forgotten about this one. I rode down from my house to start at the opposite end, and I was like, what's this? I need to be careful and not just tap things accidentally, so that... I could probably have ridden the horse out over this now I come to think about it, but I didn't want to risk him ending up in the water, all that hassle. So I don't think this one is totally finished, actually. Little sort of houses out in the water. Little self-contained village. I forgot this was here, like I said. One of the things which I did do, well, as you will see quite a lot of... Oh, it's gonna stuck. You will see quite a lot of stained clay, because that was new in this update as well. I like the design of this house, actually, in this wee balcony. That's cool. I need to do that with something else at some point. And the basic plan that I went with was that anything that I built, I would have to build with... I basically didn't carry any materials with me, other than my tools and coal, so that I wouldn't have to go caving or digging or things like that. So everything that I built on the way was from locally sourced materials, we will call it. I like this as well. It's interesting. In fact, after a while I think I was making charcoal. Because like that I didn't want to carry an inventory full of coal. So I think I was leaving spaces to do more, and then other things happened, and I ended up joining the Stumble server. I've been doing an awful lot of work on various things there. Oh wow! Yeah, well I definitely have enough stuff here if I ever want to come back and add a few more buildings. So that's just I quite like this idea of, you know, all the buildings connected by little paths and things. So yeah, that's quite good fun. Can I get here? Boing! Yes. Ow. Yeah, completely forgot that that one existed. It was actually quite fun, being limited to just the materials you could find around you, which means that there's quite a lot of wood in them and lots of stained clay, because I would just go to the nearest pool of water and start digging everything up. There we go. Pointing in this direction. I really wish I could just take this guy wherever I could go, because I like his health and I like his jumping skills are okay for enough for me. So there we go. Little stilt village up there. And we're off again. Okay, so we're coming up on the next wee build. Around the corner here. More stained clay. And this is a wee desert village that I come up with. I've done one very, very similar, slightly better I think, on, oops, that was rubbish, let's do that again. Get in there. And I'm in here with you, that's no good. Yeah, I've done a version very, very similar on the Stumble server. But this was my first attempt. I'm fairly pleased with it. There's different things, I didn't go with that. On the other build, I also I didn't use any of the dark clays, and you can see the difference that it makes in the path when you get these colours in. It's much more muted, I think, than the other one which I've done. It just dials everything down a lot. I wasn't happy with this at all, so I've changed that. I've done something similar with the farms, but I think it's the pinky one that I haven't used. And where's the blacksmith? Yeah, I was not happy with this. The one I've done on the other server is quite different. I did, however, do the same thing. I looked up and used the schematics, so the dimensions will be... I think I might have done something with the dimensions there. That definitely looks bigger. So I may have changed it a bit. This, I thought I had... Interesting stuff. Confused slightly by the fact that it's sandstone on the inside, but I think it is. Well, where's the... oh, it's on the wrong side. I came back here and did like a very short video clip and took my designs from here, and then I used the blacksmith schematic and the library schematic that I found online that told you sort of brick by brick how to build them, and then altered them to fit in with the coloured clay thing that I was doing on the other server. And I was quite happy with this, but I'm now much happier with my second version. When I look back at this was definitely Clay Village 1.0. The new one is... yeah, I like it a lot better. Okay, hi-ho, we're gonna go and head on to the next one, I think.